Hi everyone, my name is Laura Holly and this is Pedagogo Reviews, reviewing albums and EPs from popular, old school, lesser known and independent artists. Check the tash in support of Movember, and I've put the link to the official website for Movember in the description box below, where you can go and browse and upload and donate, just support the cause to help raise awareness for male health. Today I'll be talking about Trilogy, the compilation album from Canadian alternative R&B chappie The Weeknd, which was released on the 13th of November through Republic Records. I first heard The Weeknd, otherwise known as Abel Tesfaye. Now correct me if that pronunciation is not right, but I first heard about The Weeknd after a friend introduced me to the first mixtape, House of Balloons, and it's different. It's very alternative and it's not your everyday R&B. And Abel seems like a very secretive artist. There aren't many interviews with him and there isn't really much press about him. All I really know on The Weeknd is the follow-up mixtapes that were released, Thursday and Echoes of Silence, and then just various songs and remixes that were released here and there. The closest to personal we get are through the lyrics. They're clear and give us a glimpse of a character singing about experiences with sex and drugs. And whether that is Abel or not, whether they are personal experiences or just something he's made up, I don't think anyone really knows. I don't know if that has actually been confirmed. What I hear is someone who's hurt and emotional with a lack of confidence, so it's easy to assume that all of these songs are drawn from personal experience, which then brings all the more interest into his personality and his story and his lifestyle, which he's just not laying anyone onto. But maybe that's what's so endearing about The Weeknd, and it's certainly reflected in the music, which is mysterious and eerie and sad. So Trilogy is a compilation made up of remastered versions of all three mixtapes that The Weeknd previously released. So that's House of Balloons, Thursday and Echoes of Silence, plus 3 new tracks, 28, Valerie and Till Dawn, open brackets, Here Comes the Sun, close brackets, making a total of 30 tracks. Yes, 30 tracks. Now don't get me wrong, 30 tracks for £10 to £13 is a really good deal, but 30 tracks all at once is a bit much. And when I buy an album, I like to listen to it all the way through, and after having a Trilogy listening session, let's just say that you won't really feel like taking on the world afterwards. If you turn the majority of these songs into folk songs, then it would be suited for a lonesome bar where a lonesome broken man is drinking straight whiskey, thinking about where it all went wrong, and then at the end of the night he picks up some random woman and has meaningless sex with her, possibly with the inclusion of a stimulant. I would say this album creates quite a miserable atmosphere, although there is some sex appeal in the form of Abel's vocal, where you can hear a heavy Michael Jackson influence. The vocals are good and sexy on songs like Loft Music and High for This, but mostly sound dosed in desperation because of the lyrics, even on cockier tracks like What You Need. And where the tempo allows the thought that this would be a baby-making album, the dark twists and turns of electronic sounds, guitar effects, chord progressions quickly excuse that. Plus, it's all dipped in the deep, fat reverb fryer to give this sense of unpleasant euphoria, like you're on a bad high, whether it be from alcohol or drugs or sex, but by the end of it, you're just not in a good place anymore. And this is where I think the sex appeal disappears, but I love it. I love the dark side of it, and that lyrically there is such a lack of honesty and trust and responsibility and love, but Abel can get girls and boys screaming for him like he's a romantic crooner. But unfortunately, it's not the perfect album, and there are a few ingredients that bring the taste down a bit. Like, it would be nice to hear some more new material, because the 3 tracks on Trilogy that weren't on previous mixtapes do show promise. And the majority of this album focuses on drugs and sex, so it'd be nice to hear a difference in theme. A lot of the songs feel long, some of them just go on so much that they become a bit boring. And there is a lot of falsetto and high notes on this album, or just in Weeknd songs generally, and it can get a little bit whiny after 30 tracks. What is good though is that this album has now been done and released, so it's all off Abel's chest. Now let's cheer this review up before it throws itself off a cliff and play my new game, Play, Skip, Repeat. So I'm going to choose which mixtape from Trilogy I would just have playing it in the background whilst I'm relaxing or something, just nonchalantly. Which mixtape I would put on repeat because I think it's the best one, and which mixtape I would skip because I find it not as great as the others. I would play the third disc, originally known as Echoes of Silence, because there's growth. The dark themes are still there lyrically and musically, but there seems to be more experimentation with the beats and the tempo, so some songs are more upbeat. It's also more electronic, which doesn't mean it's better, but it's nice to hear something different. And Abel sounds far less self-pitying and slightly more sinister, particularly in the track Initiation, which is lovely. I would repeat the first disc, originally known as House of Balloons, because it's the first taste that you get of The Weeknd, and it's a clear projection of what this artist is all about. Also, the tracks are original, they don't really drag their feet. I mean, a couple of them might do at the end, but not all of them drag their feet as much as other songs on the album or on other mixtapes. And also, it just has my favourite tracks of the whole album. And finally, I would skip the second disc, originally known as Thursday. It seems like at this point Abel was really delving deep into the pool of self-loathing, and there are good songs on there, but the majority of them just seem to float by like a fog without leaving any impression on me. So overall, I give Trilogy a 2.5 out of 5, and I'm conflicted about this score because although it is just too long, and I only really like half of the songs on the album and the theme is just the same throughout, I also really like the dark, moody, alternative R&B style, so maybe that score will just creep up over time. Anyway, I've posted links to The Weeknd's official website and YouTube channel in the description box below, where you can go and see more videos and further links to social media. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to check out any other reviews, then just go to the Pedagogo music channel, and to keep up to date with the latest Pedagogo reviews, just subscribe. The next Pedagogo review will be taking place on Friday because I have another music project that I need to be catching up on, but I will be looking at the She EP from upcoming singer-songwriter Mvula. So have a lovely week and I will see you on Friday.